part-time job, right? Historically high.
It's
good.
The unemployment is low, so there's quite a few things that he has done. But to Donovan's point, you know, what are the Democrats doing? I mean, they're doing stuff for everybody else but black people, and we refuse overall to wake up and just say, hey, you know.
How do you adopt an agenda for people who aren't even citizens? You're going to give Nancy Pelosi authorized $430 million for the people on the border, plus some money for Trump's wall at the same time, but you can't adopt a black agenda.
Right.
You can't talk about reparations. Whatever happened to Marianne Williamson?
She's milling around somewhere.
Yeah.
But,
I know she's still a candidate on the books.
She's on the books, but I don't think she's qualified.
Right.
Well, because, you know, that's somebody black people really should be getting behind, because Marianne Williamson actually
broke the numbers.
She broke the numbers down, and she understands the need for reparations.
And so does Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang, they all understand it, but they're too busy trying to promote somebody like Joe Biden. Joe Biden has done the most harm to black people, even more harm than Trump has done. You know, he's done the most harm, but yet black people want to get behind him, and they can't even say why, other than he used to be Obama's wingman. Right. You know, he was cool, and, you know, they would...
Do you guys really want to know why Obama picked Joe Biden?
Because of his military experience?
No.
His national defense experience?
No, that wasn't it at all.
What was it?
The Democratic Party white people were not going to go with Obama. That's why they were behind Clinton 100%. But when they saw the tide was kind of like turning and stuff, when he had to pick a running mate, he went with Biden as an insurance to the white people that, see, look, we'll get this guy. And that let Obama was smart enough to say, look, I'm okay, vote. I'm going to, toe the line. And that's what he's doing.
And so now Biden is actually using that strategy in reverse, saying, hey, and I heard, this is what he said. In fact, he did say it. Hey, if I was bad for business as far as black people, Obama wouldn't have chosen me to run as his, to be his vice president. So I'm all right, you guys. And that's pretty much what he said.
And that wasn't the case. Obama could not get the funding and the backing from the white establishment unless he had a vice president that was acceptable to keep him in check.
Right.
That let the white people know, even the racist white people, okay, we got to go with this black guy, but, we got this guy here who wrote the crime bill and who's hard on crime. And what does Biden always say? Well, some of my best friends were racist. Some of his senators, the friends that he was always, we got to work out and work with them. I could work with these people. Come on now.
Right.
So, good.
I'm waiting on you.
We're going.
Oh, we're rolling already.
We've been rolling.
So we're in the second half already. All right. So anyway, I want to talk about, let's see here real quick. Let's get to this. And Brandon, you're laughing. And Samuel says, not voting for black people is like not celebrating Christmas, even though it's an economic exploitation. The sad thing is that it's black people that enforce these brainwashing, brainwashing white policies and beats other blacks up for not participating in their white supremacy system. Yes. And that's absolutely true. You'll find that true with religion and everything else, especially Christianity. You're a heathen from hell if you don't, go to church.
Right.
And practice Christianity. So anyway, we're going to transition over to Battleship Oprah, and I'll continue to read you guys' comments. Battleship Oprah, why did I name it that? Because Oprah is continuously trying to sink the careers and legacies of black men. So what had happened was recently is there's the Sundance Film Festival is coming up in January, and Oprah's film about the Me Too movement. She's actually one of the executive producers, Harpo Studio, one of the executive producers of this Me Too film. And one of the major topics is Russell Simmons, who you guys know him as the Def Jam CEO mogul. Mm-hmm. He is considered one of the founding, producers, if you will, of hip hop. Mm-hmm. So he's just everything.
You guys seen Crush Groove?
All of that.
Based on Russell Simmons and his brother and all that.
So he, if you don't know who Russell Simmons is, you probably lived under a rock. So anyway, in 1995, he was accused of raping one of an executive of somebody who worked for him. Now, this is 1995. And so within this film, it's called Me Too Something, produced also by Apple TV, if you will.
Okay, gotcha.
They're highlighting the story, and they talk about what he did to this lady, allegedly. because Russell Simmons has vehemently denied doing this. And in all fairness, Russell Simmons has not been tried or found guilty of any of this. And so here you have Oprah, who also produced, did she produce the documentary? Or she had the Neverland, leaving Neverland.
Yeah.
She didn't produce it, but...
No, she did produce it. She does behind production.
And she also held an interview, this big time interview with the victims, the alleged victims, if you will, James Safechuck and Wade Robeson, and saying, well, it's time for us to let Michael Jackson go. You know, he's guilty and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah.
After all the interviews Michael gave her.
Michael Jackson, you know, she's been to his house and just, you know, a whole host of things. Just dogged him out. So this interview, or this movie, actually, what was it on? I think HBO. HBO had this premiere, and I guess it was a couple of nights that it showed, and it was found to be flawed with a bunch of lies, and it was just terribly put together. The timelines were off. It was horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. She goes on record defending these guys and just never really addressed the holes that were poked in this story. So here, Auntie Oprah, if you will, is back at it again, trying to take down that of Russell Simmons. And so I called her Battleship Oprah because she is seeming to target black men, trying to take them down, innocent black men, because let's also put on record that Michael Jackson was found innocent. The FBI, they said they followed him and bugged him in his house and everything for years, and never once did they hear or find any wrongdoing on this man's behalf. Again, Russell Simmons is innocent. No charges or any of that stuff has been brought against him. And so it also should be highlighted that Oprah or she was, because now she's distanced herself. So she says, was very, 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 very good friends with Harvey Weinstein, who, as you guys know, as today, he was in court, I guess, trying to figure out his bail situation, because I guess in New York they're going to have this no bail system where you don't have to put up all this money.
Right.
Cashless bail system is what it is. So he was in court hearing
that
about
Kamala
that.
was against.
Right, he was in court to hear about that. And so Harvey Weinstein has been accused by a whole lot of women in Hollywood of rape and just the most heinous
sodomy,
things, you name it. And so far, a lot of the cases have been dropped. Harvey has not
I wonder why. Maybe there was a payoff there.
Who knows? You know, because a lot of those women were paid off before, and then they come out now, you know, saying that he did these things. So I don't doubt Harvey Weinstein did some of those things, but just to say the least, Harvey Weinstein has not seen the inside of a jail, while we have Bill Cosby sitting in jail for upwards of 10 years.
This is bullshit.
He's in jail for 10 years, but Harvey, being Oprah's very good friend, her, Gail, and a whole host of them, they're even taking Ava DuVernay to task, because I guess she also said a couple of years back that I love him, and you know he's my inspiration, this, that, and the other. In addition to kind of co-signing some of the stuff that Oprah did, and they're like, because I saw the Twitter where they're taking her to task, there's actually Michael's nephew saying, hey, you just put out this awesome documentary about the Central Park 5. When they see us, you did all this investigation and stuff, and talked about how 5 black men were done dirty, but yet my uncle Michael Jackson was done dirty, but yet you don't see the need to be honest about that?
No, of course, no! No! What?
So she got mad.
Specifically something from Michael Jackson?
That people were harassing her. This is Ava DuVernay. People were harassing her. She's going to block them. And so everybody got on there and was like, yo, ain't nobody harassing you. We're asking you a question. How is it that you're defending these 5 men, which you should be defending the Central Park 5, but yet you let your girl, Oprah, run roughshod all over the legacy of Michael Jackson, and you don't say anything. So that's why I call Oprah Battleship Oprah, because it seems like she is dead set against pushing the talking points of white supremacy and ruining the legacy of, I'm not talking, like nobody's legacy should be ruined, but we're talking about major greats in the black community. I don't care what nobody said. I will ride for Michael Jackson to the end. Not just because I'm a fan, but because
El DeBarge.
You better say it again for the ones in the back.
El DeBarge.
That's right. I like it. Right. So anyway, so she's content on doing this. And so I actually got into a little bit of a heated conversation with a girl on my page yesterday about it. Oh, you guys are, we're being distracted. I'm like, we could walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. But I don't think that we should give Oprah Winfrey a pass for continually trying to ruin the legacy of black men. But she doesn't say anything about her homies that are doing the same stuff. So I want to know what Oprah's real agenda is. And my daughter actually says something interesting that I think was interesting. She says, I think Oprah wants to be the last mogul standing.
Yeah, black mogul.
She wants to be the last black mogul standing. I said, I could kind of maybe see that. But,
but there's other ways to go about it.
I tend to think it's just deeper than that. I think Oprah is, Oprah can tell people to go jump off their roofs and your life will be better and they will do the shit. Most people will. So, Oprah is Oprah's a cult. And so I think she is purposely being used to do these things. There's an agenda to take, Bill Cosby's gone. The hell, they done killed up Michael Jackson twice,
Right.
Physically and his legacy. They removed his stuff from a lot of,
Prince was murdered.
Yeah, all of that. And so Russell Simmons, who, as we said, is everything to hip-hop. He is, hip-hop would not be where it is today without Russell Simmons, whether you agree or not.
Some of the foundational classic albums of hip-hop came out of Def Jam. The Beastie Boys, a white group. LL Cool J, who's still going strong today. Run DMC, you got all these. In
addition to Russell being very woke, he speaks out on the plight of black people. So he's not one of these, cats that's out there kind of like, well.
Oh, wait, he's not Jay-Z talking about, I'm going to try to profit.
Right. As far as I know, Russell Simmons is not towing the line. He's very pro-black, and so that could be it, too. You rarely ever hear Oprah Winfrey say anything about the plight of black people. Now, does she do things for black people?
Probably in silence. Yeah.
But I'm saying what she's doing to denigrate the legacy of black men is more noticeable than what she's actually doing for black people.
Wait a minute! Have you noticed the basic playbook in the black community is to do what?
Come on, that's a loaded question. You ain't finna set me up for failure.
Well, yeah. It's to do what? If you can split the black man and the black woman apart like they did in the 70s, and they said, hey, you can get your own crib if you leave this black man out here. They're doing that in the voting, and they're doing that in what you're talking about when Oprah. That's one of the oldest tricks that they use.
Just using that, but using, and I agree with that, Donovan. I think that's very interesting. I'm gonna get to you guys' comments. That they're gonna use this very powerful black woman to take down black men. Who else? Because if they use somebody else to do it, then everybody's like, it's obvious.
Remember last week, the epitome of black masculinity was Billy D. Williams. And yes, it sounds like to me you have a vocation that you need to be with a woman and hold her tight. And let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing unless you have someone you love to share it with. Woo! Hit my panties out! Whatever. But you know what I mean? But are you seeing a pattern?
I am.
Okay.
But, again, Billy was like, what I say now?
Yeah,
I said I was what?
Yeah, he didn't take his medicine.
I don't care what nobody said. I think somebody slid Billy D. Williams those talking points, and when he really realized what it was he said, he was like, hell no.
So we want to thank Demetra K for waking Billy up and making sure he realized. Yes, because, look, she came in here, Billy D, we got to go on here right now.
Nice. So anyway, Samuel, you say When They See Us was put out an attack against Couch behind the disguise support for the Central Park fire. So you're saying it actually was a disguise. Because I think I'm trying to read your comment right, in that we'll give them this feel good type of thing, while Oprah's working the scene, slithering around like a centipede,
making money. On both ends.
And getting ready to...
Exactly. That's the oldest trick.
Because, they also had Oprah up there on the stage with Ava when they was talking to the Central Park 5 and she was conducting the interview. I just really couldn't get into that. I got into the rest, but I just couldn't get past the fact that they had Oprah sitting up there, and Oprah was very instrumental in, dogging out Michael Jackson.
Okay, Oprah, the first interview I remember, Michael put you on a bench, but you were a lot bigger then. He didn't have a chair big enough for that ass. So he put you on the piano bench. Are you still mad because of that? Is it worth destroying the man's legacy? I'm just saying. But did you notice that first interview? She was on a bench.
There's something wrong with you.
I was just saying, she was on a bench. Mike put her on a bench. Yes.
It's something really wrong with him, okay? Because anyway. So Battleship Oprah is added again. And I said this too on my page when I posted the article, that Oprah should be shunned. Like, people in the black community should just...
We need to move on.
Yeah, Oprah is not for us.
But you gotta think about it. Oprah comes from what generation?
I'm not going to say it.
Generation fail. And it's like, they get to their position and they feel that, it's like they don't even think about their children or their grandchildren. It's all about what I'm going to do. And they don't think about that. And it's like, you look back on, you're saying, is this person in their right mind? Or for everything that you work for, what you're telling me is sell everything out? Your principles out?
I just think...
step on everybody you can?
I mean, I don't know if... And I don't want to be disrespectful. But I don't know.
I can. Tell me, I'll do it.
Right. I'm sure you'll pick back. I don't know if Oprah has ever been for black people or not. I don't know. But I know now she is not for black people. She is doing the will of white supremacy. And it's just, I'm sorry. I think we should cut, like she told us to cut Michael off. We need to cut her ass off.
Isn't it funny how we're finding out because of the new black media, and we don't talk about the new black media, give them enough credit. We're finding out so much about these so-called leaders and cult leaders and everything like that. And they, their draws are just as dirty as everybody else's. You know what I mean? Have you noticed that though? I mean,
I ain't noticed nobody else's dirty draws.
Well, that's because you be free balling.
I ain't got no balls.
Well,
I know you're a man down
there. Yes. So
anyway, Al says, give it enough time. Oprah would do a documentary to take down Billy D even further.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
She was probably her to give him the talking points, Billy.
Yes.
Go out there and say you're gender fluid.
Yes.
That's going to get you so many more fans. A new crowd of fans will come to you, Billy. Just say you're gender fluid.
Oprah, these women that are my age, they've got the big guts and they let themselves go and. It ain't the same as in the 70s when I was just getting panties from some of the finest hoes out there. So, Billy, this is what you need to do. See? And he went with it. You know what I mean?
What's in your coffee cup? Not what's in your wallet. What's in your cup? Okay? And then Samuel says, attack against Trump, my bad. So that's what she's saying.
Yeah.
That they used when they see his documentary as attack against Trump. I can see that as well because it did highlight Trump a lot. It familiarized people with what Trump actually did.
But, to me, they didn't emphasize enough of Trump's complicity in the negativity.
They actually did a pretty good job of highlighting they actually play real footage and all of that, of what he did, calling for the death of these boys who were innocent, and even to this day, Trump has not said, hey, you know what, I made a mistake. Nope. He's
he begrudgingly had to admit Obama was born in the country. He's like, yeah!
Yeah, remember all that shit he started talking about he wasn't born here? And I give it to Trump. Trump
he's a good liar.
Only that, but he's a genius at
bullshit, lying.
Branding himself. Because, before he did all that birther stuff, people just knew him as the apprentice and all that, and Trump
and failed businessman, and all that bullshit.
But then when he came, I think what he did was strategic and let me get my name out there because he said it on Oprah. I could run as a Republican and win, and he's been a lifelong Democrat up until recently.
No. He was at the right place at the right time because if the Democrats had put the right candidate that actually won that election, the nomination, Trump would have been beat. Right.
And then Brandy says, ever since she got slapped, she ain't been right. Laugh at my laugh. Who got slapped? Oprah, did she get slapped?
But
do tell.
Yeah, do tell.
And Al says, Donovan, did you see the movie with Billy D and Sylvester Stallone?
Yes, Nighthawks. Yeah, I got it on the DVD right now. I recorded it the other day on my DVR. Classic movie, man. Classic movie. Rutger Hauer was in it too. Beautiful. Al, we need to do a movie review show.
Right. Called Dumber and Dumber. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that's who Auntie Oprah is to me. Oh, Color Purple. Yes. Yes.
What about Color Purple?
Sophia.
Oh, Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia.
You had Harpo beat me. Looks like a black eye to me. No, that was a horse.
Yeah, she talking about when a white dude slapped her when she was getting all flipping with the white woman.
Hell
and then
no.
She slid across the car, and then she balled up her fist and was like, pow. And then she was working for the white lady.
Right, for the white man with that fucked up eye. It's sad. No, and
oh wait, because she got the police officer hit her in the eye at the end of the gun.
And what's so sad about that depiction is that was most likely it's based on a true thing. I'm sure a lot of black women went through that.
Up. Yeah, they got forced into indentured servitude.
It's just sad. It's just sad.
So anyway, you guys, check this out. I want to transition to something that's probably a little bit on the more sillier side, if you will, but it was a lot of truth to it. And so anyway, there's this white rapper by the name of Bad Baby. Her name is, it is not important, honestly. Anyway, she's the Catch Me Outside girl that was on Donahue Down.
No, she was on
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
I said
Dr. Phil.
Donahue. Mm-hmm. I'm old as a mug. Okay? Dr. Phil, and she was getting stupid with her mom in the audience and all that other stuff.
Meet me outside!
Yeah, catch me outside, whatever. Okay, so she got popular doing that. The girl is 16, so she's fairly young. Mm-hmm. So she, on her Instagram, was wearing some box braids. So for those of you who don't know what box braids are, they're braids that black women and girls wear, the big braids. I've worn them a few times on the show. And so black women took her to task and saying, and she is, don't get me wrong, she is a huge culture vulture, a big time appropriator. She is, okay? Listen, I'm not saying that she's not. She is 100% a culture vulture, all right? But so, she had this, as some people would say, this clap back, and I want to find it for you, okay? Because they were saying, how dare you, you're wearing these braids, those are our braids, blah, blah, blah. And so, I'm going to show you here. That's her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's kind of cute.
She's a white girl, but
kind of cute.
So that's the girl. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Kind of looks like my niece.
She's a white girl. She got the bronze braids on, if you will. And so after black women were taking her to task, she says this. I'm going to try to read it because she's a little hood. Okay?
You bitches!
She says, to all the black females that are saying my hair ain't meant for box braids, guess the F what? Y'all hair ain't meant to be straight, but y'all glue a whole glow.
Hello!
Calm your ass down.
Sorry.
I ain't done. Okay.
Man, I was about to get excited on that.
But y'all glue whole wigs on to your heads, and so Brazilian, Indian, Peruvian hair, which is anything, isn't anything like what you would say, like a natural hair texture at all. And I don't say a goddamn thing neither. Do the other cultures that you get the hair from, and on top of that, I'm not one of those people who has ever made fun or say anything bad about girls with box braids or any type of braids. I completely agree that it would be out of line and cultural appropriation if I was trashing black girls for wearing braids. Them getting them, but I'm reading it as she wrote it.
She's not very illiterate.
She's 16.
Yeah.
But that's not the situation at all. So leave me the F alone or I'm going to start getting real disrespectful. Okay?
Yikes. But you know what? I have to agree with her.
Somehow I knew you would.
I have to agree. How are you going to call out somebody for putting on hair that doesn't look like theirs and you're doing the same exact thing?
So a few people ask me my opinion because I don't normally get involved in that kind of stuff. I mean, it's really trivial to me, but then I got to really, truly think about it because Donna will tell you, anybody who knows me knows I'm one of those people who like to think about both sides of the coin.
She sits the fence.
I do sometimes.
You're going to have to drag her off.
I have to think about things, and I said, well, while she is a culture vulture, big time appropriator,
and she's a young woman,
where was the lie in what she said? Because I'm going to be honest, and I know a lot of black women probably going to get mad at me. I'm not one of those people like Donovan that likes to wig shame people. I feel like you do you. You put on your head whatever you want to put on your head. I don't care.
Girl, I'm glad you came over to the house. This is it. I'm about to get this thing. Yeah, take those panties off. Slow. Okay, yeah. Okay, take your eyelash. Oh, you got to take your eyelashes off? Okay, no problem. Oh, man, that bra. Yeah, okay, you can take the bra. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to wait here in the bed. No problem. what do you mean you got to take your wig off? Who are you? It's Jake. It's Jake. That's my point. This ain't the same girl I met in a club.
So anyway, Donovan's crazy ass. So I had to really entertain what she said, and she's right to some degree. Now, I know there's a lot of women who wear wigs for protective styles and all of that, but the point that she made is, and I'm paraphrasing because what she said was completely illiterate, is how dare y'all find and muster the audacity to try to take me to task for wearing box braids when y'all walk around all day
looking like Morlocks. And for those that don't know who Morlocks are, they were the beasts in the Time Machine, 1964. Check it out. Rod Taylor.
How dare y'all walk around, take me to task, but y'all walking around with wigs on all day, and I've seen a lot of wigs that are very ridiculous, that are, and they just are, okay? I'm not trying to wig shame anybody. So she's saying, I think you need to monitor what's going on in your wig closet before you talk about my braids. And so a lot of black women didn't like what she said and says, oh, well, we have no choice. We got to wear our hair.
What do you mean you have no choice?
I'm telling you what they said. Okay?
You have beautiful, thick hair, and you come with all kinds of different styles. You have a short style now, but your hair grows very, very fast, so, you're in a different aspect, whatever the deal is. You have a choice, correct?
I do.
Okay.
And I could choose to wear a wig if I wanted to. So the point that I'm making is, I don't see where she said was out of line. I thought, because I'm one of those people who like people who stick up for themselves. I'm not one of those people who like people that allow people to bully them. And I think that's what a lot of the black women and girls who were on her bumper were doing. I think they tried to bully her, and they were probably bullying her while sitting behind a keyboard with a wig on. Instead of just soaking in what she said, you guys wear wigs all the time, and I don't say nothing to you.
Look. If a person wants to wear a weave, wig, whatever, that's their business. It doesn't bother me. Now, are you going to attract me? Absolutely not. However, if you're going to wear a weave every now and then, I don't have a problem with that. It's when you wear the weave 24/7, 365, it makes me as a man. And you ask most black men, we don't like weave. We're talking about mature black men. We're not talking about these little immature motherfuckers. We're talking about the mature black men that have shit. We don't like weave. We want you to be who you are, just like you want us to be who we are.
Right, and that's fair. I mean, that's a personal preference. You probably it'll probably be hard. You'll be hard pressed to find a woman.
I got a woman, Belle. Misty's in there. They love me unconditionally.
They want a wig too.
Yeah, well, Belle's been it.
But I just think sometimes in we got to have we got to be honest with ourselves. Farrakhan said it best, especially when Rachel Dolezal was in the news. Rachel Dolezal is the white woman who is trans black, if you will. She says she's a black woman. I identify as a black woman. She loves that black deep.
I bleeped it up.
Farrakhan said, why are y'all mad?
Yes, I remember that.
At this white woman
who wants to be black
for going in the back alley and picking up what you threw away.
Oh! Say it again.
He says, y'all, a lot of black women walk around with wigs and weaves and hair that don't belong to them, the eyes and, skin and all this stuff, makeup, trying to be something you're not. So basically, he said, y'all throwing the blackness away. Y'all mad at the white woman for picking it up. Clearly, there's something good about your blackness that you don't want. And so I think we need to be honest with ourselves. Yep. Can we call somebody else an appropriator when we're doing it to some degree too? Now, obviously,
very hypocritical.
My hair could get bone straight if I was to straighten it. So the straight hair is not an issue. It's the fact that
patience.
She's being called out for wearing the black hairstyles.
I would be.
Black women wear white hair. Yeah, if you will.
I would be. What's that word when you're like when somebody does something that emulates you? I would be kind of like
flattered.
I would be flattered that this white woman wants to look into the culture.
I just think a lot of times we in our community we get used to throwing rocks at people while forgetting we live in glass houses too. And then so Al says, after what Oprah has done, is that gonna have you boycotting Greenleaf? Well, I'm gonna watch Greenleaf. Oprah ain't on there as much. I watch Greenleaf when it come on for free, kind of sort of on Netflix.
Yes,
I do like the show. And then Al says, Alicia, that's his daughter, has her holiday dance tonight. Cool.
Oh, right on.
Are you gonna be stalking the door and making sure She don't dance too close.
and watch her dance, Ashley. You know, she might throw a twerk in there, so you make sure you put a stop to it.
Right. And Samuel says, I sometimes wonder if people like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry have to play a certain role to get rich and stay rich, even to the point of pushing their gay agenda. That's in a lot of their movies.
Yeah.
A lot of movies, but are equally covertly supporting Black agenda items. Thoughts? No, absolutely. I think those are the things that they have to do.
Yeah.
But you think about those things are very successful.
Yeah. The movie I stopped watching it when I started seeing a pattern in the movies where they just like destroy the black man. You know, what's that for Colored Girls where the guy threw the...
That was awful. There wasn't not one good black dude in that movie.
Yeah, it was just horrible.
Not one.
And so there is an agenda there. And unfortunately, and we talked about this last week in Hollywood or on your show, you got to do some strange for the change if you want to stay on top.
Right.
And unfortunately, there are people that are willing to do.
And I think that they are part of that agenda. Yeah. I mean, if you watch any of the stuff that Tyler and Oprah produced, all madness, as Spike Lee once said, and that Tyler Perry got mad about, that Tyler Perry produces malt liquor for black people. It's just the lowest hanging fruit on the entertainment scale.
And look what they did to Monique's career because she wouldn't play ball.
They did do that to her.
Yeah.
Right. So a woman who is pro-black, and is unapologetic, they all attempted to destroy
her.
Monique and her career.
But they uplifted a deadbeat like Lee Daniels.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Who was just he is just the worst human being.
I mean, when Damon Dash has to come to a concert
and run up him for his money.
Right. Come on now.
And Al says, I'm having a hard time trying to stomach the bunnies, Bad Bunny's verbiage. Yeah, I told you it was horrible. Her she's not very literate, but she made a good point. And Al says, Donovan, I told that girl she can put that wig, eyelashes, fake nails, cheap perfume, and take your ass home.
Right.
He ain't talking about me.
Right.
All my stuff is real. Nails,
exactly.
Eyelashes. I don't have a patience. Listen, again, I'm not wig shaming, eyelash shaming, fingernail. What do you call them?
What? Raptor
nails. I'm not shaming anybody who does that.
No, listen, if you want to do it, that's great.
Beauty comes in all forms. There's some people who will say, well, you wear lipstick. Yes, I do. I got to wear a little lipstick now.
But what kills me about all that is they get mad at me because I have an opinion on what I like.
Well, yeah, that's your opinion, but I think we should have, and I'm saying this about you necessarily, we should be able to have opinions without being judgmental, I think that's where the line gets drawn, but I mean, me personally, it's not something I've ever really got into
But how can I not be judgmental? You can't tell me you're pro-black and you got that shit on your head. I mean, it's a confusing message. How are you telling me you're pro-black, but yet
would you have a problem with a woman wearing a wig if it was like an Afro wig?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You just don't like the European.
I don't like the European, and most black men don't. We don't have a problem. You want to wear a wig? Let it match your hair, and stop with the bullshit. Again, white women do it. No, they don't. The extensions on their hair matches their hair.
Well, they do it to some degree.
Well, but
if you're talking about like style,
right.
I think that we don't have the room to chastise
others,
especially if we're doing it too. And Al says, could it be that some of those haters are mad at this girl because she can afford the box braids and has a good grade of hair to put in different styles, like some dynamic sister I know? Well,
yes, I think that's true, Al. Very, very true.
Y'all know how I feel about the whole good hair argument, okay? I don't like the whole good hair argument because, we know in our society good hair means it's the silky, curly, straight,
I don't believe that.
But that's what, people think of when they think of good hair. I think the hair that's good, that grows out of your scalp, however that does.
That's what makes you you.
Yeah, because I don't have what people would say good hair.
You got thick hair.
So are they mad because they can't? I don't think they're mad because they can't afford the box braids. I think black people, black women, and black people, we have a right to be a little vexed behind appropriation that goes on. I really think that, but I think we should have moral standing before we try to call somebody else to the carpet. Yes.
Now I'm going to have a discussion with you about how we get mad about whatever the deal is. People appropriating our stuff. That is because we let them.
Um,
We are black, person of color. I'm not a person of color. I'm a black man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And I got you. So as far as letting them, we don't have the ability to stop them. Now, this is what I'll say. So I'll take an example. Like a lot of times we've heard our R&B music and hip-hop music has been under attack. Offset from the Migos made a comment that says that hip-hop, and I'm paraphrasing, is black culture. End of discussion. It's black culture.
Yes.
It originated from black culture. It is ours, and a lot of people took issue with that.
Wait, is he talking about hip-hop like rap
He's
itself?
saying in general. It's
hip-hop, the culture is ours.
Right.
We started it.
And I guess basically I'm paraphrasing, if I could, that don't get it twisted that you see all these other people doing it, that now it belongs to us. It belongs to black people.
It's specific to black people and the urban streets. Now, I will concede hip-hop started in New York. You got to concede that.
Right. So back to your point of us letting them, we can't stop them from doing it. Right. However, we allow them to take over when we don't do what we do best.
Exactly.
Like when we start to try to, assimilate and, do things that aren't, that doesn't originate with us, So you have these people like Justin Timberlake's, Adele, and all these other people come in and do R&B because we've transitioned to doing what you call, what's that, auto-tune and stuff. So then you get these other people come in there and actually do real R&B. Then that kind of stuff becomes under attack.
Right.
Nobody takes the Kardashians to task for turning themselves into
hoes. How many black men have those women destroyed in their careers? Think about it. Think about it.
That's not what I'm going to say.
How is a parent going to raise girls to be hoes to destroy NBA, NFL players' careers? And that's their claim to fame.
Oh, no, Lord have mercy.
But I'll give it to Kim Kardashian. She's maturing to where she says, you know what? This big butt and a smile is going to get me so far. I got kids now, so I got to start thinking about the future. But, the mother's pimping out the daughters. That's a damn shame.
However.
Okay, sorry.
Nobody takes them to task for, trying to turn themselves into black-looking women, if you will. There'd never be a black woman. But nobody says anything overall about them doing it, but we take black women to task for doing stuff. So as far as allowing them to do it, it's not, we don't have any
say-so to
stop. But all we can do is try to be more of who we are.
Right, but okay, I'll give you an example of how we can control it. Would you consider Vanilla Ice hip-hop? They beat that motherfucker when he came into the industry, and they were like, get the fuck up out of here with this bullshit.
The thing, though, is with, like, Vanilla Ice and your Third Bases and all those cats.
Yeah, Third Base was accepted because,
all of them, they weren't trying to be black.
Right.
They, obviously, you could tell that they grew up around in the hood, if you will, in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. But I never got the impression that they were trying to be black.
Right.
They knew they were white, Beastie Boys and all, and they had their own little things. Nowadays, we've gotten to the point to where a lot of these rappers and, white rappers and stuff are, trying to be black, if you will, whatever that means, So I think that's where the difference is.
Okay.
I don't think there's a problem with them doing it. Just pay homage to the
legends.
To the legends, the people.
The history.
Like G-Eazy. He's a I'm a little bit on the other side. G-Eazy, he's from up north, the Bay Area, if you will, and he does not do an album without paying homage to your E40s, Too Shorts,
in his area,
all those,
the Bay Area.
He's like, I would not be anything without them. He always does that. So to me, that's cool.
Okay,
and I like G-Eazy.
Well, the funny thing is when I do talk to young people about hip hop, it's like we talk about Prince and Michael Jackson. You can talk to just about anybody in our generation, and we can tell you about our parents' type music, the Motown story, whatever. But when you talk to hip-hop, which is what's created in our generation, and you talk to these younger kids, these millennials, they don't even know who Houdini is. You're like, what?
Well, they reference people like Eminem.
Yeah.
I get tired of hearing people say Eminem is the greatest to ever do it.
What?
I've heard a lot of people say that. He is... one of
Holy
the best MCs out there. Now, is Eminem good?
Yeah,
yes, he's good, but is he the best?
No, hell no.
How do you even fix your mouth? Not mouth, but mouth.
Right.
To even say that,
And since we're talking about hip-hop, let's bow our heads real quick and give a quick prayer to Big Bad Hank of the Sugar Hill Gang who passed last week.
Yes. No,
it was last week. It was last week. Big Bad Hank.
I think he been passed.
No, he passed last week.
I think I saw that article trending, but he was already dead. I could be wrong. But I think, he's been there for a couple years now.
No, I don't think so.
Google it.
I think it was, you're talking about the other guy, the smaller guy.
I mean, I could be wrong. Shit, I know everything, but not everything.
Right. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. But.
Right. So anyway, Al, you say,
I think some women.
No, he said, will you tell Donovan how this black lady was describing one of my black co-workers to me?
Hot sexual chocolate.
I don't remember that.
I want to tear you and your friend apart.
I think some women wouldn't have to wear their weaves and wigs if they wouldn't put it in different dyes and chemicals to change it.
They destroy their hair. They destroy their hair, and it's sad. To impress who?
I say this all the time. I know we're kind of just rambling now, but see, when I was coming up, I remember my grandmama and them wearing wigs. Yeah, my grandmother. Let's go. We going to the TG&Y. Grandma and them had lived their life, hair thinned out a little bit. They put a little a cascade or a wig on. You expected the older women, and then women in Hollywood, and then some women did, but not like this phenom that we have now. I mean, you see young girls, like, what happened to your hair?
But see, this is why I'm alarmed by it. Because you don't see the Mexican girls putting on wigs. You don't see the white girls putting on wigs.
They do.
No, they do.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm talking about in the volume per their population. You don't see that. And that's what alarms me.
And again,
and another thing is economically it alarms me because when you got to go buy that wig, you're not going to the black shop.
Right. True. My thing is, and again, I gotta have to keep saying this. I'm not trying to wig shame nobody.
I am. No, go ahead.
We know Donovan. I ain't trying to wig shame nobody. But
Al's daughter has a lot of hair.
They both do.
Man, I was like, how is she rocking it? Well, it's wintertime now, so that's kind of good. But in the summertime, how is she rocking around with all that hair? That's got to be...
You manage. That's my problem with the wig thing. Do y'all not care that we know it's a wig? Because
some of them don't.
I mean, some of them is like, that's a wig. Like, that's a wig.
I saw a girl at Winco. Remember the Raggedy Ann doll?
Yes.
With, everybody had back in the day. Beautiful doll. I mean, I thought it was a nice doll. I saw a girl with a Raggedy Ann black girl. It was red like that. It had like the cords.
Shut up.
No, seriously. It looked like a mop. Seriously, it did. And as she passed me, I'm looking at her. And of course I giggled because whenever I see clown, I got a good giggle. And Raggedy Ann was based on clown. But I'm looking at it, in my head, the first thing that came to me was, and this girl had to be at least in her early 20s, was, does she not know she looks ridiculous? Because she did. I mean, literally she did. It didn't, there was nothing coordinated. I didn't see a costume, so obviously she wasn't going to a party, but it didn't look good at all.
So I'm gonna say this about myself, okay? I'm nothing to just me. But I still come from the generation where I watch my mom. Y'all know why I wear red nail polish? Like, I predominantly wear red nail polish. Y'all know why I wear red nail polish?
Because Mom said you got to use what you got to get what you want.
I'm just kidding.
That's right.
She said that, but she didn't mean
you got to close the deal.
She didn't say bust it open now, Donovan.
Got to close the deal, but go ahead.
I wear red nail polish because my mom wore red nail polish. It's just for the most part, the only nail polish my mom wore.
And your mom wore that lipstick too.
And red lipstick. Okay? Right? You got big lips, you wear red lipstick and all that. Okay. I also wear it because that's what... that was the choice of nail polish back in old Hollywood, if you will, back in the day. And so I like it. But I come from the generation of, I'm going to give y'all my broody routine, I paint my nails every Friday or Saturday. You make sure my nails and, my feet are manicured. My hair is clean and all of that. It's just a ritual that you go through. And so I don't understand. I guess the point that I'm making is I care about my appearance. Yeah. I don't do a lot. I don't wear a lot of makeup and none of that stuff. So I don't understand the phenom, if you will, now. And I'm speaking to women, especially us, of women just going out looking like anything. I don't understand
They're in
that.
Pajamas.
I get it. Sometimes you're not having one of those days where you want to get dressed.
Right.
But I don't understand the dishevelness of, to me, it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
And it's also a lost art. How much we got time? The podcast, I'm sorry if we get out of here. We will see you on Sunday. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's a lost art of grooming, if you will. that mothers aren't teaching this art to their daughters anymore. Mm-hmm. We are not teaching our daughters, and I'm not saying you got to be the most zhuzhed up looking woman out there. But I'm just saying the art of being proper when you especially you're in public. I don't think women are teaching their daughters that stuff anymore.
No, they're not, because I'm taking classes over at the aviation college over at Valley, and it was raining this week, right? Mm-hmm. I'm in the lunchroom, and I'm going in the classroom. Now, unfortunately for my